Let me ask you about, did you go through some sort of like military drilling on aliens? Like somebody like that was teaching you how to march and salute and say yes, sir? And
they brought in this guy, and he was a sergeant guy, the real deal. But he was British.
British, okay.
He wasn't American, but he was
right.
British. But he had the same kind of flavor,
Yeah.
in your ass, and you're gonna do it. And so they had us come in before we ever started shooting, and we just worked on that for over a week. And they just put us into drills, and they gave us sign language. This is how you communicate when you can't talk, when you have to be quiet, and you didn't do it right. Drop. Give me 25, and you got to knock out 25 push-ups. And he was treating us like we were really in boot camp. But what that did was that galvanized all of us. And me and Remar were always together, and we would fuck up together and end up doing push-ups, looking at each other while we were doing push-ups, and we're having a great time. We really kind of got that buddy feel. And I remember when he left the film, and I was hurt, man. It was like a family member, man, like one of my brothers that had just pulled him out.
Yes.
And then they said, we got this guy Michael's coming in who's going to take over the role. And I remember when you first came, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know this dude.
Pretty boy
coming here all blonde and cute, and Remar would talk like this.
Yeah, I know.
He was nasty.
I know.
And then Michael was so soft with it, and I was like, fuck. But it was a really good lesson for a young actor.
Had you seen Terminator?
You're not that for I was pretty young too. You're only 2 years younger.
I know, right?
So let me
just. But no, I remember that I had seen Terminator, but I did not associate that with Jim Cameron.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I saw Michael, then it clicked. Now I got it, right? So now Michael comes in, and so he's doing his thing, but his take on the character was so different that I was disappointed. But what I'm saying about as a young actor, and it was a great lesson for me, is that I thought there's only one way to do a good role, and I thought Jim had Remar had captured it, and then Michael comes on and he flips it and plays it a completely different way, and he captured it. And I remember thinking, okay, that there's more than one way to skin a cat, but you still got to be good at it. Whatever choice you make, it's got to be a good choice, and you got to be able to deliver it that way. Jim was always he was always kind of like, you knew that he would go off the handle. With your character, you didn't know when he was going to go off the handle, but you felt like if he did have to go off the handle, it's going to be some shit. And that was the difference in the two portrayals of the character. And I thought that was really good. And I think it really worked better for the film, because then it allowed Bill Paxton to be the loudmouth and you to be the strong guy that when the shit really hits the fan, this is the guy that's gonna make sure everything happens the way it should happen. So I thought it ended up working out for the good. But it was a hard hit when Remar left the set. And I bumped into Remar maybe like 10 years after Aliens and a blockbuster, and he didn't even recognize me, man. I was like, damn, bro.
Even after you said I was like,
once I recognized him right away, but he didn't recognize me. And then I started talking to him. Then he goes, "Oh yeah." But I had heard that he had gone through some issues with substance, and maybe that had fucked up his memory a little bit. But no, I had a lot of love for that guy when we were working on set.
Well, he's been working ever since then.
Yeah.
And,
he has.
He knows he's fucked up. He fucked up, and he's been very upfront about the whole situation.
And he cleaned it up. And he's doing good work now, too.
I know. And he's he's a working actor. He's been working ever since.
Always.
And
he delivers.
Yeah. But, one of the things that when I come in and take over a role, I don't come in and look at it and go, well, I'm just going to play it this way. I'm going to play it this way. I look at it, and I don't preconceive what I'm going to do, and I kind of wait until I'm in the moment to see what's happening. And I don't know what we shot, and I don't remember. I'd like to see the schedule and what we shot the first couple of weeks and stuff. But Jim and Gail sat me down after. Well, they didn't sit me down. Whatever. It was just Jim and Gail just kind of moseyed up to me one day and said, "Michael, we like that smile. We like your smile, you know." And if you think about aliens, you think about like the first time I see Sigourney and she's driving that thing around me and the sergeant, or sort of look at this, you know. Oh my goodness, you know, and. Playing the, I think I mentioned this on this before, but playing somebody that would be submissive is the wrong word, but to Sigourney, like she's in charge. Well, let's ask her. She's the smart one. She's been here, you know, to be able to kind of, you know, take that on, which turns out to be a strength, and it's in Jim's, it's in his script. You know, he wrote it. I didn't create that, you know. He wrote it, you know. So I never felt, and I feel the same way with Johnny Ringo. I feel the same way with a lot of characters that I play that, you know. Anyway, I look at that. I look at that script and I just took it kind of day by day, and I played it the way that I would if I was that person. And I think it like you said, it would have been completely different than what James was doing. You know, completely different. But one of the moments that I mentioned about me as an actor being kind of something that I remember as a choice that I made was when they're arguing about who's in charge, and they say Hicks is in charge. She says, I think Hicks is in charge. Instead of saying, yeah, I'm in fucking charge, and this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. I made a choice back then. I don't remember making it or whatever, but I made the choice to go like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm in charge. Shit. All right, well, boom, you know, and it's little things like that you do that can really,
make the character
really make a difference.
And,
How long?
And show the depth of the character. And I also think that smile that you would do, it would in an atmosphere of potential great danger and chaos, for somebody to smile, you know that they know what they're doing. Well, they can handle themselves, and I think that gave you a strength in smiling, because that's an area where a lot of people their ass is tight,
yeah,
you know, and you're able to smile under that circumstance, and I think that was probably a very interesting choice for them to make for you.
And they.
But how was it for you being thrown into there? Because I think you told me this one time that you got a phone call and was told, this is the job, this is the script. You got 24 hours to get on a plane or some shit like that, and you had to make quick decisions and then get on set with a group of people who had already galvanized and been working on it for a couple of weeks, and then you've been thrown into the pot.
Except for what people don't. Let me just add to what you said. Yes to everything you said, but number one, I was the only guy who had done a movie with Jim Cameron and Gail Hurd. Okay. So I had a whole years of experience,
history.
Not only being an actor for them, but back in the day, Jim used to be like, come in, watch the daily. So I've got a rough cut of Tech Noir. I want you to come in and watch this. You know, we used to hang out. We used to that was before he didn't have time for anything other than the brilliance of so I knew them. It's the same way like on The Abyss. There were problems with other people on The Abyss. I didn't have any problems with it. I knew what to expect when I came in. I knew who Jim was, and Jim knew who I was. And so I never felt any pressure. I never felt any, I wasn't nervous. I was grateful. And Bill and I, Paxton and I had done Lords of Discipline. He had a small part in Terminator.
Right.
But we used to hang out. I mean, Bill and I, before he met Louise, we were tight. We were really, really tight. And we used to hang out. And I used to go down to the beach all the time. This is where he lived.